Family movie collaboration. Family movie collaboration. Family movie collaboration.
Current and nostalgic, but not too nostalgic.
He's the world's most famous YouTube critic.
Family movie He really rocks.
He's a critic in a nutshell, but not one bit.
Hey, go screw yourself.
When family movies attack, if some are good, he'll hit them back. Family movie collaboration. Family movie collaboration. Fluttershy Plushie taught him to be goofy.
She's a radical plushie.
It's just so cool to review family movies.
Plane still sucks.
And that's really all that there is. What you're hearing now are Philly lyrics. Family movie collaboration. Family movie collaboration. Family movie collaboration.
Current and nostalgic, but not too nostalgic.
Hello and welcome to Family Movie Collaboration, the show where I review family movies both current and nostalgic, but not too nostalgic. Hey everybody, it's April! You know what that means? Probably not, because I just made up an out-of-nowhere celebration. It's Autism Awareness Month!
Yes, folks, it's that time of year again. Usually whenever any month comes around, we usually celebrate by helping give support to a cause that's needed or to help find a cure for any kind of diseases. And quite frankly, April is oddly enough the time where we have to give support to kids who are suffering through autism. And April is the perfect month to celebrate that.
So since it is Autism Awareness Month, I figure I would do something related to one of my childhood icons that I enjoyed growing up. And that childhood icon is none other than our good buddy on wheels, Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yes, we all know this little blue tank engine from our childhoods, straight from the Railway series books from the 40s and brought to life on television since the 80s. Being around for about 70 years and still going on strong, Thomas the Tank Engine has been entertaining kids of all ages with not only strong messages and incredible life lessons, before My Little Pony Friendship is Magic did it much better, but it also captures the eye with autistic children big and small. And it's even proven in a survey set up by the National Autistic Society back in 2001 that 57% of children prefer Thomas over any other children's show. That's pretty amazing!
So I figured that not only I'm going to be celebrating this occasion, but since I'm also one of those fans of this little blue tank engine, I figured that I would review something related to Thomas, and those being the specials and movies.
Yes, folks, since the show has been around for over 20 seasons and still going, the Thomas movies have been around in between each season, and just like the Pokemon movies, only one new movie comes out each year. So I figure I would review the Thomas movies to help celebrate this occasion. The only major catch to that is that I will only start with the newest one that came out first and get to the other films some other time. And if there's like a top 10 list, a retrospective on the show, or anything related to the fans of the show, I would do that as well. And also, I'm gonna try my best not to overpraise them while I look at them as just standard movies. These movies deserve to be looked at, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And if there's any that I miss, I'll get to them some other time.
So let's not waste any more time and let's start this occasion with the latest Thomas movie, Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure.
We make a team together. 1, 2, 3. We go full steam.
Being the second Thomas movie to be released around Thomas's 70th anniversary alongside The Adventure Begins, in which I'll get to some other time, Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure was the movie that decided to take on a subject matter that has been around for quite some time we haven't seen much of, and those being pirates. It deserves to be looked at, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
So let's hop on board and let's go sailing for adventure. This is Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure. Oh hey, that rhymed. What a surprise.
The film opens up with Thomas running on his branch line, so pretty much like he always does every single time, when he spots Birdie driving by and decides to race him for like the 10,000th time.
Maybe you should just give up now, Birdie.
You don't, Thomas.
I'm so in denial that I don't have time to answer your whining. Oh, by the way, hi, Reverend W. Audrey Cameo, even though you're already dead.
You know Sir Topham Hatt doesn't approve of you racing.
Nonsense.
Hey, come on, you know I'm trying to make this line less boring. Even if I did, then you might end up in a Trump rally.
I'm always getting stuck behind slow vehicles ever since they started work on that new branch line.
New branch line?
So Annie and Clarabelle heard that Sir Topham Hatt is working on a new branch line, fearing that he might close down Thomas's branch line. And, like every other in denial person in every movie ever made, he of course doesn't care. Meanwhile, we get a complete subplot in this movie where Marion from the last special thinks something is going on until he runs into Oliver and Toad.
Sorry, Oliver. I'm so sorry. I had my eyes closed. I just didn't want any more nasty.
Actually no, but believe it or not, we are introduced to the small engines in this movie, those being Mike, Rex, and Bert, who are originally in the original Railway series books and finally making their appearance in this movie. Good for them!
Are they real? Real? Of course we're real. We bring all the ballast to put onto your track.
What magical little engines. That's it. Magic. They must be. I bet they make wishes come true.
I think you need to stop watching Magic Mike. Unless you watch the sequel to Now You See Me.
So it turns out we learned that Sir Topham Hatt is in fact making another branch line, and everyone, including a newly designed versions of Jack in the Pack that makes the pointless out of nowhere reboot to Bob the Builder more subtle, are extremely busy putting the line together. Oh, and how do you build the line on rocky ground that makes it impossible to dig up? By dynamite! Oh, explosions, you make me come.
Sorry I'm late. I took a wrong turn.
Well, at least you're here now.
We were about to set up a new Arby's down the street before you came.
But right around the next morning, Thomas was having trouble waking up and ran a little late shunting coaches for Gorgon. Gorgon, you do know you can shunt your own coaches, right?
I mean, have you forgot about the events and trouble in the shed? Did someone put dirt onto one of your coaches while they were shunting, and you're just afraid of getting your own buffers dirty? If so, then you need to seek help.
But like every cheeky engine in every children's movie ever made, Thomas ends up hijacking Gorgon's coaches, which causes all of the lines being blocked, and turns out Sir Topham Hatt isn't too happy to hear the news.
But it's not my fault, sir. Gordon must have been at the wrong platform, sir, and Emily was coming in very fast, and Toby was...
Enough, Thomas. It wasn't Gordon or Emily who caused this accident. It was you.
Yeah, to quote Mark Wahlberg from The Happening,
You should spend some time shunting cars in the construction yard.
The construction yard?
So he decided to send Thomas to work on the new branch line, as he wonders who will take care of his own branch line, as we are introduced to our new engine named Ryan, voiced by Academy Award winner Eddie Redmayne.
well, what a surprise that they got someone from the Theory of Everything into this movie. But still, to be fair, since this is a Thomas movie, he sounds more cheerful and upbeat, but his performance is not that bad. Oh, and of course, do I even need to mention Jupiter Ascending? I think that speaks for itself.
Meanwhile, back at the construction yard, turns out some rocky ground starts to come apart and declares it unsafe. But while that's going on, Thomas meets up with the small engines when suddenly this happens.
They look down on us, even when we're the ones on top. Exactly.
Never overlook a little engine.
What? What?
Little ones are really useful too.
Okay, the small engines are singing a musical number. That's not too bad. I do have to give them credit to the movie for making it more musical than the live on stage shows, but I can't imagine this getting even stranger.
If you think the baker's better than your
What the hell?
mistake, the ocean isn't wetter than a tiny little lake. A cherry might be tastier than a great big cake, and we can turn around in half the time those big guys take.
What can I even say to that?
Okay, the song itself is alright, but all of a sudden these crazy visuals show up out of nowhere that has nothing to do with anything!
I never thought I would repeat this from my Labyrinth review, but... Why is this a common theme now?
So he finally arrives at the construction site as he tries to send the rails down the line to set them up, but like a complete dumb ape, he goes into the
Danger zone!
You already knew that was coming, I caved in!
As while repeating the events in Down the Mine, he falls into the hole to his death. This calls for some Michael Bay slow-mo!
Because if it worked in other movies, we can do it too.
He managed to survive, but somehow comes across a pirate ship trapped inside. He tries to explain what he saw to Sir Topham Hatt, but he doesn't care and didn't catch on.
But sir, there was something else.
Go.
Down in the cavern.
Take him to the steamworks, Emily, please.
Okay, something I need to bring up real quick is that Sir Topham Hatt in this movie is somehow a complete jerk in this. I mean, sure, he's trying to bring discipline to Thomas, but he would have to believe him when he saw a pirate ship buried underground.
Gee, Sir Topham Hatt, I know I love you, man, but it's almost like you're trying to make this into a Thomas the Tank Engine minus Thomas the Tank Engine movie. But I can't imagine that in the next one, but you get what I'm talking about!
So Thomas managed to get repaired and sent back to the construction yard as he found out that not only that Rocky has found the pirate ship in which he found, because Sir Topham Hatt is also a big dumb ape in this movie, but also found out that Ryan is going to be helping out on the branch line. Well, Thomas, that's what you get for being too cheeky. But later that night, he couldn't help but hear something in the distance.
Mermando?
A ghost boat?
So Thomas tries to see what's going on as we are introduced to two new characters in this movie because...
Since this is a Thomas movie, they have to sell toys out of these characters.
And they are a tiny sailboat on wheels named Skiff, and his Geiger, and the film's antagonist, Sailor John, voiced by former Harry Potter star and Academy Award nominated actor John Hurt. That's right, John Hurt is in this movie.
What, was John Cusack or Beau Bridges not available at this time?
We're trying to find the treasure. What treasure?
Well, where there are pirates, there's bound to be treasure, Thomas.
So Sailor John and Skiff explains to Thomas that they are looking for a treasure simply known as the Lost Treasure. Yeah, I'll take that over Unoctagium from Avatar, which is buried some time ago and nobody can find it. And a flashback informs us about a pirate named the Lost Pirate, again, weird name since Earthland from Fairy Tale, who stole the treasure some time ago and buried it somewhere on Sodor so that he can find it sometime later.
Well, if that backstory can get us up to date, then I'd like to see some pirates try to shoot me down! What the hell, guys? I mean that as a metaphor! Hey, put the safety on those cannonballs! I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna have to take a little break here. We'll be right back. I knew I should have gotten so much security guards. Those would have protected me much better. Ow!
Family movie collaboration will return after these messages. We now return to family movie collaboration.
Wow. I can't believe I wasted a commercial break fighting off a cannon fire attack. But anyway, so back to the story.
Sailor John was unable to find the treasure, but he did manage to find the treasure map that'll help lead to it. But it turns out the sun is coming up, and Skiff and John sails off until they meet again. Meanwhile, Oh, that's right, I forgot about the subplot to this.
You could make another wish and turn yourself back into a railway engine again.
I don't really think that will work, Marion.
Besides, don't you even have anything to do rather than, oh, I don't know, trying to believe that leprechauns exist? And I mean the Warwick Davis movies.
But it turns out Ryan has taken some of the bad coal that Thomas took earlier. Seriously, no one has even bothered to check the coal, which results in one of his sparks lighting up the dynamite. Thomas tries to get rid of it by pushing them right in front of Ryan, rather than just backing them away from the construction yard, and drops them into the hole. Oh, I was just gonna use that for Transformers 4, but I see this movie already did that for me. But it looks like Sir Topham Hatt showed up and had enough of what Thomas is doing and sent him away for the rest of the day, leaving the rest with not much work to do.
Yeah, sorry, sir, but I don't think you used your ears quite well. And again, do I even need to bring that conversation I made earlier?
Later that night, Thomas meets up with Skiff and Sailor John again, and they looked all over to search for the lost treasure, while thankfully a song plays in the background that does tie into what's going on, but apparently there's no such luck.
I've dug everywhere now, and there ain't no sign of that treasure.
Damn it, man! I knew I should have brought a GPS with me!
But it turns out that Thomas discovers that Marion found the lost treasure, which results in not only Marion giving all the credit, but it turns out Sailor John isn't too happy to hear the news.
He's giving it to the museum.
Museum? What museum? I haven't been searching all this time to see that treasure end up in a museum!
That treasure didn't belong to you, and it didn't belong to the pirates. It was stolen.
And by stolen, I mean discovered and taken by someone else. Which is practically the same thing.
Done. I want my treasure!
And I want a career! So Thomas finds out that the treasure is locked up in a safe in Sir Topham Hatt's office, but it turns out Sailor John and Skiff come in, and with a bit of leftover dynamite they stole off screen.
Or the scene where they stole the dynamite was added in, but they forgot to film it.
As they blew up his office and stole the treasure, Thomas heard the commotion and decided to chase after them. But since this chasing has been done in so many Thomas movies today, I think it should be safe to edit in every single chasing in every movie ever made into this one. But it looks like Thomas is too late as Sailor John takes the pirate ship along with the treasure out of the island. But Ryan shows up to see what was going on as the little engines decide to help by pushing some freight cars overboard, which causes the pirate ship to start to slow down.
Ryan, the rope! Stop that ship!
But luckily, Ryan was able to stop the ship, which causes John and Skiff to lose it in the process. But it looks like they got away with the treasure. So, what does Skiff do? Rip off the Poseidon Adventure and sink the treasure to the bottom of the ocean, along with Sailor John.
Wow. I didn't expect the ending of this climax being Sailor John drowning to death.
Oh, I'm just kidding, he survived. And on top of that, he was placed under arrest, and Sir Topham Hatt, quite frankly, forgives Thomas for what has happened.
It's all my fault. I know it is.
Thomas, there's nothing to be sorry about. I'm proud of you, and I know you did your best to stop that pirate getting away. My engines are much more important to me than any treasure, and you, Thomas, are my #1.
And oddly enough, you proved that you can be a generic hero in every movie ever made. But can you imagine if I really did send you away for no reason whatsoever? That'll be stupid. Unlike this piece of crap.
Thus, the branch line is finally completed and ready to be opened. But who is it for?
I was referring to Daisy. the diesel rail car.
Daisy?
That's right, Thomas.
What a twist!
You knew that was coming.
Thus, the movie ends with a branch line officially opened, Skiff now a part of the Sodor Railway, and we get a replay of the song we heard earlier to an amazing montage.
We make a team together. 1, 2, 3, we go for speed together. In the we run along together. All the way.
So that was Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure, and man, I gotta say, despite a few major problems, it's a whole lot of fun.
The story, while done a million times, was well written. The characters are a bit mundane. The actors they have chosen are incredible. The animation, while dated, still look great. And of course, Eddie Redmayne and John Hurt steals the show whenever they're on screen. It may not be the best Thomas movie that they put out, but it's truly a great one to be released during Thomas's 70th anniversary, and it proved that it's gonna keep on going for years to come to open up a new audience for newer generations. So, on the family movie collaboration number scale, I'm gonna give this movie an 8 out of 10. Not the best Thomas movie to be released overall, but a great one to help celebrate our childhood icons for 70 years and still going strong.
Well, thanks for joining me, everyone. Tune in next time where I take a look at... What is going on? Rob, what are you doing in one of my layouts?
I'm just looking for my favorite pen.
Oh, you mean this pen that was on the floor the whole time?
Yeah, that's the one.
So I guess this search is pretty much pointless, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So, you up for some pizza from Pizza Hut?
Oh, sure, that'll be lovely. I'm Ackley Tag 4427, and Autism Awareness Month 2016 has just begun.
Family movie collaboration, family movie collaboration, family movie collaboration.
Current and nostalgic, but not too nostalgic.
He's the world's most famous YouTube critic. Family movie
He really rocks.
collaboration.
He's a critic in a nutshell, but not one bit. Hey, go screw yourself.
When family movies attack, if some are...
I want my treasure!
Hey guys, this is Ackley Tag 4427 here. Thank you for watching this latest episode of Family Movie Collaboration. There was a lot of time and effort being put into this episode, and we're glad how it turned out. Thanks for watching, and thanks for making this possible. So, if you want to see the previous Family Movie Collaboration review on Shrek, click the video on the left.
So all that Judy badly talk about how everything is topsy-turvy and upside down. Well, what would you expect from a DreamWorks corporation?
If you want to see an episode of Thomas's Adventures with Sam the Thomas Fan Wong and Ackley Tag 4427, click the video in the middle that'll take you to the 36th episode, Haunted Henry.
Don't mind them, Henry. You're not scared.
I'm not scared. But he was.
And if you want to see a video on my main channel, click the video on the right that'll take you to my second episode of WTPU, aka What the Pickup?
Yeah, and as you can tell, I think with this, Tommy, Henry that I got, in which, by the way, is a dead model, by the way. Don't believe me? Well, here's some proof. You see? Dead model.
Speaking of that, if you want to see our own content that me and Sam create, then feel free to click on one of the two icons that'll take you to our main channels. If you have any constructive criticisms or any advice on how we can improve our videos in the near future, then feel free to leave them in the comment box below. If you want to see more videos on this channel coming up in the near future, then feel free to click on that subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you for my next review. Until then, take care.